Hey everybody, in this video we are going to look at exploring the blueprint for events, trade shows, and speaking engagements. We're going to build out this entire conference, which does include the event will be our big conference, and then at the conference we are going to have a number of different activities for the conference booth. We're going to have a couple of speaking sessions, maybe be doing a live webcast, and then also hosting a customer event. So the first thing that we need to do is go in and add a new event. And for this event, we are going to say we're going to a trade show. And this trade show is going to be called Expo West. We get to choose the campaign that we are on. We're still in our product launch campaign. This is going to be in the event marketing program. We're going to be doing this in the West region and in Los Angeles. And I've already went in and added a new place because this will occur at the Anaheim Convention Center. Last, inside of our event, we also have a custom property attached to this event type that allows me to choose the audience that I might be most speaking to. So in this case, I'm going to choose my professional audience. Now, the first thing that we need to do is set up some activities for the booth. So I'm going to just modify our activity name a little bit to say Expo West Booth. This is going to be an activity type event booth. We can add a description if we want to, and we know that Frankie and Frida are going to be the two field reps that are working our booth. Now we can also add a little bit of information. Maybe we're at booth 1720 and the password is Expo West 123 for our Wi-Fi team. Now, the first day of the conference actually starts on March 5th, and we are going to set the ending date to March 5th. And in this case, today we are going to be getting to the show at 1 p.m. and we are going to end the show at 7 p.m. on this first day. Now, this is only the first day of the show. We need to add a few more days for March 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. So the easiest way to do that is to simply go down and add 4 more activities and click the plus sign. Once we do this, we will automatically see the Expo West booth auto increment a number. All of the information related to the booth details, the Wi-Fi settings, and our assigned users have already been inputted from the previous activity. Now, maybe on the second day, we're actually going to be at the booth until 5 p.m. and we're going to start a little earlier at 9 a.m. Same is going to hold true for the next few days. We will say 5 p.m., 9 a.m., and then maybe on the 4th day and the 5th day, we are working 1 to 7. So that handles all of our booth data collection. The next thing that we need to look at is creating an activity for our first speaking session. So I'm just going to add one more activity here. And this first activity that we are going to be presenting on, or the first session rather, is going to be called Believe It or Not, Donuts Can Be Healthy. Now, we do need to change the activity type in this case to a speaking session. And in this case, Evan, our event manager, is going to be the user that's speaking of that. And he's going to be speaking in the expo room, for instance. And we also have the ability to choose a session topic. And in this case, we're going to be speaking about health. Session topic is actually a custom property that is assigned to an activity type speaking session. All of those custom properties can be defined by activity type. Now in this case, Evan is going to be speaking on the 5th, and his session is from 1 to 2 p.m. So we have this activity set up, our first speaking engagement. We do need another speaking engagement. So I'm going to add one more activity. We will rename our activity to How Healthy Donuts Grew Distribution in 30 Days. This is also a speaking session, but the topic is a little bit different. So in this case, we're going to be talking about distribution, and maybe Evan isn't speaking at this one. Maybe Paula, our program manager, is speaking at this, and she's going to be in the West room. And this speaking session is going to occur on the 5th from 1 to 2. So we will set this up from the 5th, also from 1 to 2. And our last speaking engagement is actually going to be a webcast that we are going to broadcast live. So I will simply copy in my webcast. We're going to consider this a speaking session as well. And in this case, I'm going to assign maybe Sam, our site admin, to here. And we're going to be doing this from the Expo West booth. And in this case, we might want to choose health and flavor. Maybe we're talking about two different types of topics in this case. And this one will occur on the 7th. Oops, I need to change this to March 7th rather. And this will occur from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. So now we have all of our speaking sessions, and then the final activity that we are going to be hosting is a customer event. So I'm going to add my last activity, and this will be our Expo West customer party. So we will put in our new activity name, and this is actually going to be an activity type of customer event. Now in this case, we need all of our team to attend the customer event, and this is going to be in the large conference room. This is going to occur on the 8th, and we're going to have it go from 9 p.m. and it's going to be starting at 6 p.m. At this point, we have created all 9 of our activities that will be housed inside of our one Expo West event. So once I have all those activities created, I simply click the Create button. It takes us to our Expo West landing page. Inside of here, I can go to any of the activities. I can see all of them rolled up under one event. So I can very easily go in, make changes to any one of these. So if we decide for our Expo West customer party that we are going to be going a little bit later, and now I want it to go to 10 p.m., I simply have to edit that activity, and it takes me right back to the activity list. Once I've built my event inside the system, I also have the opportunity to maybe associate a contact. So if we need to mark that Nathan Sparks is our event manager for this convention, this will provide all of that information for the event in one place. I also have the ability to upload any photos, or in this case, maybe I want to upload the contract for our event. So I simply drag the contract over into the system. It automatically uploads our event contract PDF. I might also want to drag over the layout for the event. It shows all of our employees where the booth is and the layout and the map of the event. Now that we have our event created, I'm going to switch over to the iPad and demonstrate how we can begin collecting information at the booth. So as I open up the Okapi mobile app, there is the possibility that you might not have internet access at the event, and one of the great things about the Okapi mobile app is that we do have the ability to collect all of your information in offline mode, and then once you get back to the hotel or to the office, you simply go back, sync all of the information up into the cloud, and we will sync all of it back from the mobile app into the web app. So the first thing that I'm going to do, maybe we're getting ready to set up on day one, so I'm going to click the Expo West booth number 1. Once I click into that, it does give me a little bit of information related to the overview. But the first thing that we are going to do is switch over to our survey tab. This is going to be the iPad that sits on top of our booth table and collects customer information as they're walking by the booth. So I'm going to hit the plus sign, which moves me into the survey collection mode. And I can simply begin collecting information just like I was a conference attendee. And maybe Jim would like to receive some more information from us. Once Jim has this information filled out, all he has to do is click save. And because we have the kiosk mode turned on for our survey, Jim's information is immediately submitted and it refreshes the page to collect the next participant's sign-up information. If I'd like to get out of kiosk mode, I simply hit the left arrow. I type in the code that allows us to get out of survey mode. It sees that we have collected one survey already. And if I want to sync all of this information, I simply click on our sync option. It shows that we have one survey response pending. I click Start Sync. All of that information has now been uploaded to the website. Going back into the web app, I can click on Event West Booth 1 and very quickly can already see one survey response uploaded into the system. This would continue to increase as people attend the booth and fill out the information form on our mobile app. The next event that we have coming up is going to be one of our speaking sessions. So as our users log in, and in the event that we want to go to the Believe It or Not, Donuts Can Be Healthy speaking session, I simply click on this event, and you will notice on the right-hand side we have a web survey URL. This web survey URL will allow my speaker to either place the URL or even a QR code at the end of their presentation. And when I click on this URL, it takes me directly into a survey that all of the event or speaking session attendees can fill out to give us some more information. So if I was filling this out, I would say, you know what, the content was valuable, the speaker was very knowledgeable at the topic. Have I ever purchased the product before? No, but I am very likely to purchase the product now. I can fill out some contact information. All of these surveys are 100% customizable. And maybe when I'm considering new products in this area, what are the top things you generally consider might be brand? And when I click submit, that now submits this survey response. If I go back to the activity and click on my survey tab, I will now also begin to see responses coming in from this speaking engagement. One of the advantages that we have with Okapi is that at this point, now that people are submitting their email address, their name information, I can integrate this with my CRM system or my marketing automation system, and as these responses come in, I can immediately drop them in as a lead or begin marketing to them in a cadence of some kind. A couple other interesting features related to activities. If we wanted to go into the webcast, for instance, and that we see that Sam Seidman is the one responsible for performing the webcast, but you know what? The webcast has changed times. So first of all, we're going to go in and say, you know what? The webcast is now going to start at 10 a.m. and it's going to finish at 11 a.m. So I change my time first. I click save. And now I also need to let Sam know that the times have changed. So it's very easy for me to go out and say, Sam, times have been moved up an hour. Please plan accordingly. And once I click send, that's going to send an email notification over to Sam so he is aware that the times have been changed for our session. If we go back to our activities list one more time, maybe my brand ambassadors or my field representatives also want to upload some photos of the trade show booth or maybe of the conference area. So very quickly, I can upload a couple of pictures. Any number of pictures can be uploaded to any activity or event. The last thing that our field representatives need to do to close out this first activity, this first day, is they would log in and choose to go into the recap tab. And maybe we had 10,000 people that attended the first session day, or the first booth day rather. We think that it was a very successful activity. The busiest time of day for us was between 12 and 2, and we know that Dunkin' Donuts was one of our competing brands in attendance. And on average, when somebody walked by the booth, I might have talked to them for 2 minutes. And because I was actually selling donuts at the booth, I can say that we had 250 people purchase. And what didn't work, needed more space in the booth. What did work, we had a great booth location. My field representative saves their recap, and once that has been completed, they simply submit it for approval. Now that that has been approved, an event manager or maybe management on site or back at the office can go back, see all of the stuff that is coming in near real time. So we notice that this one is in a submitted status. As an event manager, I might log in, I might review the recap, I might see how many surveys were collected, I might view the media that was uploaded, and if everything looks good, I can click approve. In the event that it doesn't look good, I can also go in and notify the team and again click one of the field reps or both and send an email to them saying what they need to do to make changes to their recap or to the activity. So I'm going to hit cancel here, and if everything looks good, I simply hit approve. Once that's been approved, I go back to my activity list and I immediately see all of the items that have been approved. The activity list is very easy to use in that we can filter based on status. So if I want to only see the activities that are in approved status, I can do that. I can see all of the activities that are still remaining to be completed that are in draft status. If I want to analyze the data that's been collected, one very easy way to do that would be to go over to the All Recaps, and simply by clicking Export Data, I can save all of my recap data to an Excel file, which will then open up and can be very easily analyzed in Excel. You could drop it into Tableau, hand it over to your data analytics team, and all of that recap data that was submitted by my brand ambassadors or field representatives is collected inside of the recap. I can also do the same thing by going over to survey results, and in this case at our speaking engagement, that was the first survey template that we filled out. I can see that I have one person that is a male, one person that has not purchased our product in the past. All of this survey detail is available by survey template. So if I want to go over and look at the event, I can see that 3 people have requested to receive additional information from us. All of these survey responses can also be exported very easily. Again, dropping into Excel, I can see every question from this specific survey template. If I want to go to another survey template, I can export an Excel file for each one of the survey templates that we have. Once I begin to see some of the data coming in, I can go to the dashboard in Okapi, and I can change the dashboard to show any number of question information, any number of quick stats information. So for right now, I'm going to change this to all time to begin showing all of the data that we have inside of the system. And I can very quickly see that we've done 1 fair and festival and 1 trade show. The activities by type, I can see that I have done 7 activities for event booth. I've done 3 speaking sessions, 2 guerrilla events, and 1 customer event. I can also add quick stats from our recap. So for instance, if I wanted to add a quick stat and show both the average and the total number of people that have attended all of our activities, I simply click the 2 boxes It will add the activity attendance stat on my dashboard for me that shows I have an average activity attendance of 5,750, and of all time I have touched 11,500 people. The map tells us where we have been activating. How successful was this activity? This is a recap question. The content presented was valuable. This is one of the questions from our sessions. And I can also go in and very easily filter my dashboard and maybe show only the stuff that has happened in the Los Angeles market. And maybe I just want to show trade show information. So when I apply that filter, my dashboard refreshes. And now I'm only looking at very specific data related to this trade show. We can also see down here that we have done 2 topics, one on distribution and one on health. Once again, the advantage to having everything inside of one platform and being connected to potentially your CRM is that all of this data would be flowing into your CRM as a lead. From that point, we can track where the lead source is, and you can eventually create customer ROI or event ROI based on all of the data and all of the lead sources that are coming into your CRM. You can watch them move from a lead over into an opportunity, and then finally to a closed won opportunity would begin showing the ROI for this specific event. So that is how we build out the blueprint for trade shows and events. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at support@okapihq.com. If you'd like to comment, please add your comments down in the blog post. We'd be happy to hear from you. Thanks and have a great day.